And right away with the main news of the week that the entire civilized world is discussing. Ukraine, as we understand, received approval to use long-range attack MS missiles in the war with Russia against the Russian Federation. Does this concern only the Kursk region or more than that? We will discuss this a bit later. The Kremlin has already responded by launching an intercontinental ballistic missile at Ukraine, specifically targeting the city of Dnipro. It doesn't really matter what it's called, whether it's Rubezh or Oreshnik, as the frightened Putin said. The fact is, the Kremlin's terrorist is once again threatening the world with nuclear weapons. We are not going to scare anyone right now. We'll simply explain the facts of how the attack MS can change the world. How the course of this war can be changed and what Russian war criminals should be prepared for. All the details right now in a report by TSN correspondent Vitaly Afanasenko.
Hitting deep into Russia, can or can't they hit? Western partners have been pondering where to place the comma for some months now, and it seems this time they finally decided. The head of European diplomacy, Joseph Borrell, confirmed after a meeting of the European Union foreign ministers that President Biden has given the green light for attacks from sovereign territory. A bit later, journalists from the American publication Axios clarified that, for now, it seems to be only towards the Kursk region. About the non-public approval, the commander-in-chief first mentioned it in September.
There are already messages regarding diplomatic relations and media.
Did not confirm, but hinted after insider information from Western media figures. President Zelensky in his daily video address.
Such things are not announced. The missiles will speak for themselves.
How the attack MS will perform, we will clearly see soon, but for now, we can estimate the missile range on the map. Apparently, the attack MS will be able to demilitarize enemy military facilities in 10 regions of Russia. According to analysts from the Institute for the Study of War, there are as many as 245 targets in the strike zone. These include headquarters and command battalions, military facilities and factories, and equally important, 16 air bases, from where Russian forces launch attacks on the Kharkiv, Sumy and Chernihiv regions. However, the maximum range of 300 kilometers is achievable only under ideal conditions.
The export version is 299 kilometers. Of course, if these missiles are used, imagining a scenario, they will be used, for example, in the Kyiv region no closer to the border than Vyshhorod. For comparison, from Vyshhorod, we understand there are Russian Iskanders and drones, so we need to move as far inland as possible. But this reduces the range, so the strike distance will be much less than what is shown on the map.
However, even this distance is quite sufficient to clear the area near Ukraine of Iskanders with bombers and establish a demilitarized zone on Russian territory. And the attack MS with a range of 300 kilometers may only be the beginning. Following the New York Times publication about the permission for strikes with attack MS, the French publication Figaro reported that both France and Britain At the same time, the issue of long-range capabilities was discussed in the Udmurt Republic. Our strike drone reached a military plant in Izhevsk, 2,000 kilometers from Ukraine. Urpesos aici.
Encourages us by creating means to reach as far as possible. I think the next stop will be Olenia, Murmansk. It's quite likely we've already destroyed nearby airfields, so Russians need to prepare for blackouts and constant alerts.
Both military and politicians are convinced that Russia should be attacked comprehensively, simultaneously with missiles and long-range drones. But this should be done quickly, as there is not much time left before President Biden's term ends. After that, Trump's team will enter the White House with all possible surprises.
Of course, it doesn't automatically mean that President Trump will immediately sign an order banning Ukraine from using these missiles. He might like something about it, or perhaps his advisors might say, "Listen, Donald, you know, there's something promising here. Let's hold off on signing this order for now."